Hey everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick,
And I'm Paul.
and we don't watch broadcast TV anymore. Do you? No, not. No, this is not a cord cutters manifesto or anything like that. This is not accusatory. Gosh, I wish I hadn't tried to say that.
It's a bit of a
This
tongue twister.
it certainly is. This is just a reality. It's a reality that dawned on me, and we've been talking about it, Paul. That broadcast TV is a tough sell when you already have streaming services, but also just the nature of what broadcast TV is. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it, Paul. What it is inconvenient.
Yeah, that's probably the key thing to broadcast TV. Yeah.
Yep. Because time in life is limited. We're working, we're doing all sorts of stuff. It's very hard to say, oh, like we used to do. It's Thursday night at 8 o'clock, I'm going to go watch Hear Us Out, which you should do on YouTube, and 8 o'clock Irish time. Your time zone may vary. But, there was the whole kind of, oh, I watch that every Tuesday at 7, I watch this. Every Wednesday at 9, I watch that. People used to compete for time slots. They still do, but it's much less important. What with people being able to record things with DVRs as opposed to just old VHS. But even then, do I bother DVRing things? Do I bother recording things? No. Like, I get TV with my internet bundle, and I do not use the TV part because I am not going to be running to watch something at a schedule. If I do record something, it's just going to fill up the box, and I'm probably never going to watch it because I have so many things to choose from on streaming.
Yeah, like that's the biggest concern for me with broadcast TV is the fact is that it's just because it sets its own schedule. It may like where streaming the schedule is days.
Yeah.
This day it will be released. Kind of thing. It's not this day. Like it's very rare that streaming services do the whole like weekly release thing, which is still fine. But the whole thing is that it's not a particular like 7 a.m.
Yeah, and you really have to be into it to be like, this comes out Thursday. It hits Disney Plus Thursday at 12 a.m. or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You got to be pretty dedicated to be like, I want to watch it right away. Once you know it's there, it's like, it's Thursday, new episode of XYZ dropped. I'll watch it this evening, or I'll watch it when I get time.
That's the thing. It's essentially a release date, but it's VOD. Essentially, where like YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, join us at 8 p.m. You'll get a better interaction with us and stuff like that. If you can't, it's on VOD. Take a look at it.
VOD
Subscribe.
being video on demand, because I had somebody ask me, what the hell's VOD? So video on demand. It's not as in common use as you might think. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Where broadcast TV, if it gets released at 7 p.m. that night, that's your only time to see it.
Yes.
You'll have to figure out when it's going to be replayed.
Or, you hit series record or whatever, and you create your own streaming service out of it, which 9 times out of 10 you don't end up watching because you have the same show on a streaming service already. So yeah, like, and the other thing people say, like, oh, blah, 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 cost this, how many streaming services? Fact of the matter is we choose to have streaming services because we want certain things that they have. Whatever your choice might be, there's nothing free about the broadcast TV thing either. Streaming services cost money, but so does having the broadcast TV. In my case, I just went with the minimum possible package that did not change the cost on my internet. Literally, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Like, same. I think I added it as a bundled so that there was times when, like, I would go to a streaming service, which Netflix has now, I think, kind of figured out, and I just didn't know what to watch. Complete, like, catatonic because there was so much choice. And I find that TV is sometimes just that enjoyable where I can flick through things, find something that I want to watch, and then I'll watch it. But it's so rare that I do that now.
Yep.
That it's now an exception, not a norm.
Yes.
Because Netflix has also added the shuffle thing in, where I'm just able to shuffle my own kind of stuff and just be like, yeah, okay, well, I haven't chosen anything. I'll just watch this.
There you go.
And I think many other streaming services are probably going to start implementing something similar.
Oh, I think so.
They just so.
And Paul, I want to get the elephant in the room out of the way, if that's all right. Advertisements.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like you cannot live in a world where, okay, YouTube, you're on it right now. Thank you very much, by the way, for joining us. Do love you, and I mean that. Love you for joining us. you may have been hit by a pre-roll, you may be hit by ads, wherever you're getting hit by ads on YouTube. But it's not the same as an entire advertisement break. An advertisement break on TV is one of the most difficult things to sit through now. It just is, Paul. And I'm one of those people that's always shouting at people, go to the cinema, support them, watch the ads on YouTube, do what you have to do, engage with people that you like, engage with the sponsors of people whose videos you appreciate on YouTube. I still believe in that. Everything is a commercial enterprise. You do have to support things. And I understand why advertisements exist. But the frequency and the duration of ad breaks is off the charts.
Yeah, gone are the days that when you're watching a movie, that it was three ad breaks, like kind of thing. You'd have one at the start, and then just at the end of it, there would just be someone going, "And now Die Hard."
Yep.
You know, halfway through the first act, you get a ad break. Fine, perfectly grand. Second act, halfway through, another one. Third act, like just before the final kind of like ensemble, another one. That's fine. You add in probably about 15 minutes of excess kind of thing. Nowadays, you can end up having a 2-hour film turn into like a 2 hour 45-minute one.
I have a literal example of this as recent as last Saturday. Watched a movie on TV by accident, as in was using the TV for something else, as in broadcast TV. Saw a movie, said to my wife who was with me at the time, have you ever seen this? Because it's really good. And we were trying to enjoy a nice Saturday afternoon. We're like, we haven't watched a Saturday matinee on TV in a long time. We sound like good old folks there. It's a 90-minute movie. Paul, it took 2 hours to watch a 90-minute movie. 2 hours. Half an hour of ad breaks. By the way, Film 4, I love you, but what the hell? Because there was a point where they were advertising themselves incessantly. I'm like, you are just trying to make sure that this rounds out to your next time slot. But if you know that it's a 90-minute movie and you tell somebody who hasn't seen it, hey, we can watch this, it's quick, you better be ready to go. But first, we're going to pause it. We're going to pause our live TV and go and do something else and then come back and have this nice spontaneous moment in a more planned and less spontaneous way so that we can fast forward through ads.
Yeah, or you do the other thing, which is you go to streaming service to see if it's on that one. And then you're just like, great, cool, don't need to do. Sorry, you acted as a TV guide there, broadcast TV, kind of thing. I'm going to go watch that on something else.
You can tell that I actually, you know me well enough. You know that I didn't volunteer to watch it there. It was a case of, okay, I'll go with the nostalgia of us watching a matinee on TV as opposed to on the streaming service. Because my brain went, this is on a streaming service that we have, more than likely. Let's go watch it there. But there was something more romantic about the idea of we never watch TV. And that's why this video exists, because we never watch TV, Paul. None of us do. Broadcast it is inconvenient to say the least. Advertisements are ridiculous. And the other big thing that people will say, oh, hey, but you forgot. You may have all the movies and you may have all the main TV shows, but what about reality TV and things like that? Have you seen what streaming services have done lately? From the Great British Bake Off to any variety of I'm selling property and I've had plastic surgery, or that seems to be one whole category of reality TV.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be on an island with my ex trying to find somebody else who's in a bikini. Like, it's all very, very weird. I don't really understand reality TV, Paul. I'm kind of giving that away.
No, Netflix's Korean variety show, which is reality TV essentially, is exploding on Netflix alone, kind of thing. And Physical 100 people who are bodybuilders and exercise freaks, who do different tasks and so on. It's a great reality show, but this is the thing: streaming services are now doing reality TV that you want to see, kind of thing. So, it is not the sole proprietor of broadcast TV now for reality TV.
So what else has it left in its quiver? What other arrows can it shoot? People will say news. Oh yeah, what about the news? And here's a little bit of Irish for everybody out there that's watching across the world. We have a national broadcaster called RTE. And it's quite literally, it's a religious thing here that the news at 6 o'clock is on. They play a religious thing before it.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, exactly. But weirdly, people are like, oh, I'm going to watch the news at 6, or I'm going to watch the news at 9. And I'm like, I watch the news anytime I feel like. Or I'm also going to get the news. Dear RTE, I love you. I really do. I'm very happy to pay my license fee to keep you going. But I don't think your news division is pulling its weight, to be polite in some of my feelings about it. So would I choose to watch our national broadcaster cover only Irish stories? No. News is accessible way beyond streaming services. YouTube, and this is not a do your own research, find your own echo chamber thing that I'm saying here. I don't even want to get into all that. But if you like CNN, or if that's what you're going to watch your news on, CNN on YouTube will work just as well.
Yeah, there is a variety of news channels that you can get access to through their own websites or through YouTube or through multiple different channel systems online, on demand kind of thing. Gone are the days of just the 9 o'clock news and stuff like that. And so like there's no excuse essentially to be just like, well, broadcast TV is once again the sole area for news kind of things. With online news outlets and stuff like that, you can get a variety of kind of like the umbrella of different perspectives and everything like that ready and accessible by you. So like, why would you corner yourself into just broadcast?
Yep. And if all of the broadcast news networks stopped putting things on YouTube and hosting shows and all the rest, I'm sure that void would fill itself. But even then I might say, okay, I want to go and make sure that I'm hearing news from different, a selection of news. I don't want to hear just one news story, because sometimes that's what I'll go and search. But honestly, Paul, that's where the internet, written internet and video internet cross over very nicely. You can get a selection of news stories, and then you can go and look into the ones that interest you more further, or even, if you don't want to just rely on that, you can have places that curate and give you a good overview. Act like a news channel. So news ain't it. That leaves the biggest one of all, Paul. Broadcast is saved always by this one thing. And anytime I've ever said this, someone will go, oh, but like, what about live sport? I will out myself as having an interest in lots and lots of different sports, but I'm not a crazy avid fan of very many. I know a lot of people are mad into like 5 different sports and they're just nuts for it. That's cool. I love it for you. It wasn't for me. Live sport is starting to show up on streaming services. Most of the live sport that I want to watch, I would have to pay extra to get behind a paywall to see that sport anyway. So guess what? I'd pay for a streaming service that does specifically the sport that I want. Like, this is where that argument for what about live sport? Live sport isn't really on broadcast TV the way you want or need it to be.
No, that's the thing. So now that you get broadcast TV packages, it means that you actually have to pay extra for the sports channels, for sports live things.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not entirely sure if you're the same as me, but Now TV is essentially where I get my live sport.
That's where I'm watching my F1. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like live. So, but it's a streaming service. It means that I want like the only kind of crossover. The only crossover between broadcast TV and streaming services is because it's a live event. I have to watch it at a particular time. So, 2 o'clock on a Sunday, I have to watch live sport. I have to watch Formula One. But the thing is that because it's on a streaming service, after I think it's like a couple of hours after the live event, it's then there for on demand consumption. So if I do miss the live event, I can catch it again. Whereas broadcast TV, not a lot of them have actually the license to pay, or actually don't have the access. And that's the thing.
That's my biggest gripe with that argument about what about live sport. I'm like, yeah, what about it? I would love live sport to be on broadcast TV, but not on a specific paid channel or behind paywalls. Because then if you're paying extra, you're essentially paying for streaming. Because if you're paying extra, you are going to have a service where you can get on demand, whatever, as you've just perfectly described. But like, how should I put this, Paul? The Olympics happens once every 4 years, usually.
Yeah.
I have been very busy lately, so didn't. The Olympics are on right now. So don't know when this video is coming out. This may come out in a long, long time from now. But I watched some of the Olympics on TV, on broadcast TV, and found it almost impossible because they would show me that there's sports going on that I wanted to see in the top corner, but that I couldn't access. And instead, they would do a lot of talking. And this is where national broadcasters are a real problem. We're only interested in our own nationalistic interests, and unless somebody from our country is running in this race, we're not covering it, or we don't really care. A whole load of filler studio waffle where they're talking and regurgitating the same points. I had a point where I'm like, I really want to see some of the Olympics. It's been on for a while. I haven't seen any of it. Tried and instantly went, oh, what am I doing? I'm a YouTube person. And I don't just mean I do a show with you on YouTube. I mean, I prefer to watch YouTube. So I went and I found the things I wanted to see. Sure, okay, I couldn't watch all of them live. Found the things I wanted to see, found some recaps, got some good insights from some interesting people, found some new people with new and interesting angles on things. Broadcast TV cannot compete with that because of how they do it.
Yeah, it's just limited. That's the problem. Because they have to go through so many distribution rights and, like, legal kind of, and I'm not saying like YouTube and stuff like that doesn't. It's just because it's already a different version. It's a different media distribution system. It means that it already has a different kind of like pathway to the content. Whereas broadcast TV has a very traditional one, which is like, one broadcaster can end up having the entire distribution rights. And because they're not available in your country, it means you cannot see that.
Exactly.
Whereas you can then just go to now, of course, streaming services can have a similar distribution problem, but it's a lot less. There's a ways around it that are a lot easier.
Yeah.
To get what you need, and also it's very unlikely that it is locked entirely away from you, kind of thing. So there's the convenience of streaming and kind of online kind ofness that this broadcasting cannot go against.
Can't compete.
And the only way that you can anyway make it interesting for people to do broadcasting or to go to broadcasting kind of things is definitely they need to make the content and everything a lot more interesting. But once again, they just don't seem to want to.
No, the most interesting stuff, the things that'll bring me back, and you mentioned this when we talked, and I can empathize because I have the exact same experience as you. The time that I end up back at broadcast TV, and fair play to our national broadcaster, it's when they do something like a documentary that they've created that you're going to have to go there to see it. And I'm really happy and I'm really proud. I would love to see more Irish created content on the Irish broadcaster. And I don't mean, soap operas. I mean, give people short movie chances. There are lots of creators in this country. We know and love many of them, related to some of them. I'm really, really happy when something like that happens. But that's so rare because they're too busy playing the same things that are already playing on streaming services, showing sport that is, delayed by 10 days anyway because it's not actually live sport. So you've probably seen it or caught the highlights on YouTube. The model just isn't working. And Paul, we've got to wrap up, and I want to say that I don't hate broadcast TV. I love it and I wish it well. I'm not a cord-cutting person who's like, I just want it all to go away. I'm just facing a reality. It doesn't work anymore for my life or my lifestyle. I really do hope it continues for all the people that I know it does work for.
Yeah, no, and we are never the close the doors kind of people. I definitely agree there. I just think that it needs to diversify. Apple TV decided to go the sci-fi kind of like specific media content route. And I think that that's what broadcast TV needs to do a lot more. They can do things that are very unique to them. And I think that they need to start planning for that.
Yep.
But who knows if they will. And that's the thing.
I hope they do, because it's a lot of people feel the exact opposite, that it suits their lives. And I really, really hope that all of the broadcasters do well. I really, really, really do. And in fact, if any of them want to sponsor us or have us come and do shows on their networks, I believe we can make ourselves available, Paul. Definitely.
We could. I think two great hosts that have great chemistry together would be great for,
Yep.
RTE.
We'll do Olympics, Eurovision, Rosa Trulli, whatever else you got, we will cover it. Okay, Paul. Well, I would like to say to the people who are watching us on a streaming service, which is what YouTube technically is, I'd like you all to do me a big, big favor. Comment down below. Let us know what you think. If you don't feel like doing that, if you could do us the kind favor of hitting subscribe, because I think it's 80% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribers. Mean the world to us if you could hit subscribe. Hopefully it won't cost you any hassle. And that'd be a big deal for us. So please subscribe, like if you liked what you've seen, and check out our other videos. If you like this, we've got many more like it.
We do indeed. Which is, let us know what you think of broadcasting TV. But with that, I've been Paul.
And I've been Patrick.
And we've been Hear Us Out.
And we will see you next time, folks. Bye.